Hey Mary! Welcome to the first episode of our Outer Wilds Let's Play. I know this is my second time trying this, and I really hope I don't face the same audio troubles that I was having before. But either way, I'm still super excited to be doing this with you, and I really hope this time I'll be able to really figure it out. Just for some bookkeeping reasons though, I'm going to kind of go over the same stuff that I had gone over the first time. So, as we've discussed a little bit, progression in this game is tied mostly to the knowledge that you've accumulated as the player. Once you've learned something, you can't really unlearn it. And so, much of the gameplay in this game is just going to be us accumulating information, using that information to get more information, and so on and so forth. And so, as far as like how we're going to be playing, I'll kind of explain it as we go, but just a quick heads up, it might seem a bit chaotic, especially at first. We're going to be getting a lot of different pieces of information that seem completely separate, and the timeline is going to be all over the place, but I promise you it'll all converge eventually and everything will connect. There are no coincidences in this game, and when things click, oh man, I'm just so excited for us to be able to experience this together, and I'm really eager to hear what you have to say about it. And on that note, this Let's Play is like a love letter to you. I really want to hear your opinions. I want to hear if you have any suggestions or questions or anything like that. Please don't hesitate to come to me about anything. I'd be more than happy to talk about it. This is my favorite game after all. But with all that out of the way, without further ado, I think we should get started. So, we are going to be starting a new expedition here. And here we go. Okay, here we are. Sitting around the fire, looking up at the stars. And this game is an indie title, and I feel that makes it all the more beautiful, especially with how amazing the graphics are and the music and everything. This game is just a masterpiece. But yeah, let's talk to this guy, Slate. There's our pilot, back from your pre-launch campout under the stars, I see. So it's launch day, eh? Seems like only yesterday you joined the space program, and suddenly here you are, leaving on your first solo voyage. What do you say? Ready to get this beauty off the ground? It's all fueled up and ready to go. I'm ready if you are. Are you kidding? Of course I'm ready. It's finally time to test the new landing hydraulics with a pilot instead of the auto-flight system. Speaking of pilots, make sure you don't crash the ship the first time you put it down, you hear? Anyways, you'll need to get the launch codes from Hornfels at the observatory before you can lift off. Just bring those here once you've said your goodbyes or whatever. Okay. I think we should do just that. So, the planet that we're on right now is called Timberhearth. It's pretty Earth-like, but like everything else in this game, the planets are very, very tiny. And so the gravity isn't crazy. And there are some aliens here. Or I guess not really aliens since we're a part of that species. Anyways, here's Micah. Hey, it's you! Slate said you're blasting off in your ship today. I'm really excited to see the launch. Aren't you going to go into space, aren't you? You better not have changed your mind. I want to practice with a pro before I leave. Aw, you're just saying that. But if you really want to practice with me, I guess I could help you out a little. Try to land on one of the geyser pools. Show me what you got. Right. I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that. Controlling this little model ship here is actually a lot more difficult than controlling the actual ship, or at least I think so. Hey, alright, I did it. I'm pretty sure this is just here as a tutorial for flying. The physics engine in this game is, like, very accurate, like, surprisingly accurate. And so things can get kind of, I guess, confusing, especially when you get into space and there isn't really an up or down. We're going to be seeing a lot of that. Anyways. I love Timberhearth. It's so beautiful. It's so cozy. Porfy. Hey, hatchling. I hear you're leaving us to seek adventure amongst the stars. When you return, let's you, me, and Gossin open up a bottle of the good stuff. I'm only seeking adventure amongst one star, actually. Other stars are too far away. Another metaphor ruined in the name of scientific accuracy. Nevertheless, I do hope you enjoy your travels. Good luck. Yeah, okay, whoa. So the people around here are very, very supportive. Which is, good to know. Old man. Rutile? Rutil? Every member of the species is named after a mineral, so I have a feeling I'm going to be mispronouncing a lot of them. You're actually blasting off in that thing, huh? They really don't explode as often anymore. All I know is between the space program and Micah's model rocket ships, things seem to burn down to the ground a lot. Burn to the ground here more than they used to. Dear God. Oh yeah, you can see the moon is kind of eclipsing the sun there. Very cool. Oh yeah, and then here we go. So, I don't know if you saw it. Sometimes you can see it pass overhead. There's a little white light. I guess it's not coming by. We'll probably see it a bit later. But there is a satellite orbiting Timber Hearth, and we can tune into its camera and kind of see what's going on. Yeah, there's a lot of geysers here. We're going to be using those a bit later since, as we can see, there's a lot more on this planet than just this village. I think we're coming over the village now, actually. Oh, yeah, there it is. Cool. Cool fact, you can actually deorbit that satellite, and then this won't work anymore. Okay. We also have some gear going on around here. Very cool. We're going to be using a lot of this stuff, actually. Here we go. This pilot seat, used by pioneering astronaut Feldspar, is all that remains of our inaugural? I struggled with this word the first time, and I still can't get it. Flight into space. Although it's been argued such a distinction requires a breathtakingly liberal definition of flight, that day will nevertheless always be remembered as a landmark achievement in Hearthian history. Yeah, so Feldspar is a character that's going to come up a lot more. They're one of the other travelers who we'll encounter on our journey. And we'll probably hear more about them before we actually take off, so let's see what we got. Marl. So it's launch day, huh? Hal's gonna miss you. Speaking of launch day, I was thinking about it, and the platform those ships launch from is getting old. Isn't it about time you built a new, less flammable one? That big tree in the village would be the perfect choice. I wouldn't mind helping out the space program. Just say the word. The launch pad is flammable! Ha, you didn't realize that? Don't worry, it's held up for all the launches so far. It'll definitely be fun for yours. Probably. Yeah, it's made of wood. We can pull out our signal scope here, which we'll be using in just a bit. And, yeah, definitely not the best choice, but, oh well. I mean, if it works, I guess. Yo, what's up, geese? Hello there, Space Cadet. I hear you're leaving the crater today. If you meet any other travelers up there, remind them to take proper care of their instruments, won't you? Tell me about the travelers' instruments. Oh, sure. I made all their instruments, you know. Let me see. There's Church drums, Rybek's banjo, Gabriel's flute, and Feldspar's harmonica, of course. Though Feldspar has been missing for a long time. Sometimes it feels like just yesterday they were playing their harmonica around the campfire. Anyways, you hear music in space. That'll be one of the space program's other travelers. If you feel like company, you can always pull out your signal scope and track them down. Yeah, so the signal scope allows us to track certain signals, like music. So we can hear a flute coming from that planet up there, which is probably where Gabbro is then. There's also a way, if you go like really far out of the solar system, you can hear all of them at the same time. It's really pretty. I'll try to do that maybe at some point. Yo, what's up? Hello, astronaut. What's with the radio? We wanted to play hide and seek, but Moraine won't let us borrow their signal scope because it's really delicate and not supposed to be thrown around like that. Hey, can we use your signal scope? Can we? Can we please? We'll even let you be it. Yeah, alright, let's play. Woohoo! Okay, here are the rules. Galena and me will hide with these radios and you'll use your signal scope to find us. Last one to be found wins. Okay, close your eyes and start counting. Yeah, so the first time I tried this, I wasn't able to hear game audio, which was really annoying. I don't really know how I expected that to work, but whatever. Okay, and this is kind of like a little tutorial for how the signal scope works. We can kind of track down this little fellow. Although, I mean, you can see them. They're just behind the waterfall. Yo! What's up? Aw, you found me, but my hiding spot was super good. Nah, it was shit. Don't worry, you'll have to find both of us. Or, don't forget, you have to find both of us, okay? How did I misread that? What the hell? Woo! Yeah. I don't even need my signal scope to find the other person, but... You know, I guess for, consistency. They're over here! In an actual hiding spot. I won. I'm happy. Thanks for playing with us. Okay. Whoa. Alright. You might notice I'm kind of moving through things a bit faster than I had the first time. That's because I turned off the, there's a setting where time stops when you talk to people. I turned that off since it was kind of making things a bit confusing. Let's talk to Spinel here. Fishing rhyme. Singing helps me pass the time. There's definitely no fish in there. You're leaving the crater? Guess it will all be a little busier without you around to lend a hand. That big water planet, giant sea, that's where I'd go. Why's that? One time, after the rest of the village had left to sleep, and it was just the two of us sitting around the campfire, Gabbro told me about their first trip to Giant Sea. They landed their ship easily enough in the waves, but couldn't see too far down, on account of how murky the water was, I guess. Too dark. Gabbro wants to see what lay beneath the surface, so they decided to travel deeper. They traveled down and down. But suddenly, Gabbro couldn't go any further. Tell me more. I will. I was just pausing dramatically. As though exercising a will of its own, the water was refusing to let Gabbro go any deeper. It held Gabbro back, almost as if it was trying to protect them from something. And then, in the terrible darkness, Gabbro saw it! The tentacle of some hideous beast! Ah! I really hope my neighbors didn't hear that. Anyways, I mean, that's what Gabbro said anyways. Whatever it was, it freaked Gabbro out pretty good. Everyone wants to hear new stories at the village campfire, you know. Make sure you come back, you bring some back with you. Yeah, man, it's like 11 right now. I don't know why I screamed. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, there's the observatory right there, but we still have some things that we have to explore. Or some places, I mean, before we get there. In particular, we got whatever's going on here. That's this little fella throwing rocks. Okay. Hi, astronaut. You know the patch of ghost matter inside this fence? Gosling said it used to be bigger when they were a hatchling, because ghost matter evaporates. It just takes a super long time to go away. I hope there's still ghost matter in the village when I'm a grown-up. Ghost matter is awesome! Ghost matter is super cool, but it'll burn the heck out of you. Yeah, I heard touching it hurts so bad it feels like your whole hand's on fire. Try not to walk into any in space, okay? That sounds bad and painful. Yeah, ghost matter is... It's one of those things that's definitely going to get in our way in the future. You can kind of tell where it is from this little crystal, and when we're wearing the spacesuit, a little warning will pop up, but going into it for like a couple seconds will kill you. Danger. Inside this fence is a pocket of ghost matter, a strange and dangerous substance that's invisible to the naked eye. The good news is you can detect ghost matter with a camera. Moving through ghost matter is uniquely painful and will probably kill you. Don't complain to me if you hurt yourself fooling around, Hornfells. Yeah, so you can see it through the camera. It kind of looks like an aurora, which is useful. As we can kind of see with this rock too, whenever something like makes contact with it, it kind of makes like a whooshing noise, which is also super useful. Okay. What else do we have here? Hey, come say hi to your old flight coach before you launch. I've got 0G training set up if you want a refresher. Gosling. Yeah, so Gosling, I believe, is one of the first, or one of like the founders of the Outer Wilds program, which is our planet's space program. So let's see what he's got. Hey, I thought I might see you before the big launch. Nerves getting the better of you? Right, like you weren't nervous for your first flight. Hey, don't worry about it. Your nerves are between you, me, and the vast endlessness of space. But really, you'll do fine out there. I'd worry more about the ship if I were you. Hopefully that lunatic slate at least fixed the retro rockets. So listen, there's a satellite, which is definitely not just a piece of broken mining equipment set up in the zero-G cave and in need of repairs. If you're looking for a little last-minute zero-G practice, head down to the lift and into the cave. Or don't, as long as you're confident you can make ship repairs in space. One repaired satellite coming right up. Cool, get to it. And try not to concuss yourself right before your first launch. Yeah, okay. So, I had kind of given this fact the first time I went through this section. But I think it's really cool, so I'm just going to say it again. This is technically physically accurate. The closer you get to the center of a planet, the weaker gravity becomes. In theory, if we were able to go to the center of Earth without, like, burning alive, it would have lower gravity. Oops. There we go. Okay, here we go. Take note of the very pretty and coincidental, might I add, that the rocks down here kind of look like stars. Woo. Okay. Pickaxe man's over there. Let's see what he has to say. Hey, nice of you to drop down. I'm getting some zero-G time in. So you're going in there? In the cave? What? No, I'm fine. Great and fine. You don't look fine, jeez. Well, you know, I hate that cave, so I don't know why you're making me talk about it. Oof, now I got hand sweats. Dude, what? You're like a miner. I thought that... Anyways, whatever. Okay, here's the zero-G cave. And, the center of, Timber Hearth. Now, it can get a little disorienting in here, so, I'm gonna try to remember where I came from. Ooh, but here's just some practice for, spacewalks. Now, honestly, I don't really do a lot of ship repairs. I'm definitely 100% going to crash like 1,000 times. But usually if I crash, I just die on impact immediately, and then I don't have to worry about it. Whoa. Yeah, it's so dark, too. And even if I was to make ship repairs, like, I'd do it on a planet, not in space. Oh, there we go. Nice. And the last one just in here. Ooh, there we go. Now I hope I can get out of this place like easily. Last time I got lost and I was like flying around here like an idiot for like forever. And oh no, okay. I was gonna say seems like history's about to repeat itself, but no, I got lucky. All right, here we go. Whoa, woo. Ow, goddamn. Okay, nice. All right, that went smoothly. Cool. I was totally expecting to get lost in there, like I always do. Here we go. Oh yeah, right. Nicely done. Of course, it'll be a little more stressful when you're hurtling through space, but just remember your training and try not to hit anything big. I can see you're itching to get off this rock, so go get the launch codes from the observatory and get out of here already. Best of luck out there, and hey, try to avoid getting yourself killed now that I've put so much time into training you, got it? Man, fuck that guy. Anyway, anyways, let's keep going. We're finally approaching the observatory. I believe we've covered most of what's available in the village, for now at least. But there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that we can explore since the observatory doubles as a museum, actually. So, we can look through the exhibits here. Outer Wilds Ventures, Timberhearth's first and only space program, was founded to explore the farthest reaches of our solar system. Feldspar was the first Hearthian to be intentionally launched into space. They completed the first orbit around Timberhearth and later made the first of what would be many landings on our moon, the Outer Rock. Yeah, so I think the Outer Rock would be the best place for us to go first, actually, since it's super close and also, like, following in the footsteps of Apollo 11. Outer Wilds Ventures founding members, clockwise from top left, Hornfels, Gossen, Slate, and Feldspar. Cool! And then I think these are the backers from the Kickstarter. Hal. Hey, it's my favorite astronaut. Launch day at last, huh, buddy? It's the translator tool's inaugural flight 2. I'm gonna get it one time, I swear to God. I'm so excited, it's making me nauseous. Just think, you'll be able to translate any Nomai text you want, anywhere you are. The two of us put a lot of hours into inventing that tool, so don't break it, okay? Haha. Oh, jeez, do not break it. Ignore me, okay? I'm just nervous, and I'm not even the one going into space. How are you feeling? I'm excited. Good, you've only been waiting for this day since you were a hatchling. Can't wait to see all your training pay off. So what's the dirt? You here to see the new Nomai statue? Of course. I knew you'd want to see it before you headed off. Hornfels just finished prepping it for display today. Amazing, isn't it? Makes me wish we could see what a real-life Nomai looks like, but I guess this is as close as we'll ever get. Check it out. Looks like they had fur. Fur is weird. Agreed, ask Haley. This is the first fully intact statue ever found, you know. And for how old it is, it's in great shape. Ah, geez, I got a little carried away there. Go on, you have a ship to launch. Take care of yourself out there, you hear? Yeah, so here's the Nomai statue. Let's see what the plaque has to say. This remarkably intact statue was carved by the Nomai, an ancient species who dwelled in our solar system thousands of years ago. The statue provides us with the most detailed look at the Nomai, who appear to have been covered with a layer of fur. Note the decorative jewelry that has been carved as part of the antlers. Although their artifacts and structures have been found on almost every planet in the solar system, we still have no idea where the species came from or what happened to them. Yeah, so the Nomai are like goat-looking fellas, and they're super important. They're basically the backbone of like the most of the story that we'll be discovering. But yeah, this is apparently what they looked like. Kind of creepy, but oh well. And here we are. We're in the museum here. So, last time I avoided this, but I think I am going to read it this time. The radio tower here on Timber Hearth was built to receive transmissions from our deep space satellite, and to this day, still houses the first ever photos taken of the entire solar system. These photos were made possible by the deep space satellite's unusual vertical orbit that carries it high above and below the plane of our solar system. Thanks to a recent upgrade, the deep space satellite is now responsible for generating the real-time solar system map used by our newest astronaut. Yeah, so if we press one of the buttons on the controller here... Oh, never mind, I guess it's not available to us yet. I think we can, I can show you up there though, but for now, we can just put a pin in this. Okay, here we go. Watch closely. These balls move on their own. The ground is perfectly level, so what do you think causes this spooky motion? The answer is the moon. As it orbits our planet, the outer rock's gravity pulls on objects from different directions. In fact, it's pulling on you right now. Yeah, okay, here we go. We can see them moving. So this type of force is called the tidal force. It's actually the same reason why we have high and low tide. It's our moon pulling on the water, which can move and deform a lot more easily than the rock can, which is pretty cool. But the rock, like the ground, does also deform during high tide. I forget the exact measurement, but I'm pretty sure at high tide, the ground is 30 centimeters higher, or around there, than it is at low tide. Which, I mean, obviously we never noticed this, but it's still pretty cool. Let's see what we have here. The strange rock moving around in this grotto appears to react to conscious observation. The level-headed among us, whoa, imposter, realize there must be some sort of optical illusion at play, but Gabbro claims the rock exists in all possible states until it's observed, whatever that means. Whatever's actually happening, both sides of this debate agree the effect is extremely creepy. Yeah, so this is a principle of quantum mechanics called superposition. The rock is in all possible states, which is just on top of these three stumps here, at the same time, and it collapses onto one of the states upon observation, which is why it seems to be like teleporting around. Normally, though, superposition only works for microscopic particles, not macroscopic like bodies like this, so that's definitely really weird. Stars like our sun generate light and heat by fusing hydrogen into helium. As it grows older, the sun runs out of hydrogen and starts to contract. As the star's core contracts, it gets hotter, causing the outer layers to expand. The star has become a red giant. When the core is hot enough, it starts to fuse helium into carbon. If the star is massive enough, it will continue to fuse carbon into even heavier elements like iron. Ultimately, the star will collapse under its own gravity and then explode in a violent event called a supernova. Based on Chert's observation, this will one day be the fate of our own sun. Yeah, so, again, I know I'm reiterating facts a lot, but a lot of people think our sun's going to explode, but it's actually not. It's just going to radiate outward into a planetary nebula. They're very beautiful, but by that point, Earth will almost certainly be gone. And so will we. This anglerfish specimen was found attached to the landing gear of one of our ships that flew too close to dark bramble. It appears well suited to living in dark places with minimal atmosphere. I legit hate this thing. And it'll also come up later. Okay, here we go. This crystal was taken from a Nomai ruin on Brittle Hollow. It seems to create a local gravity distortion and was most likely used to traverse steep surfaces. Try it out. Yeah, so if this game couldn't get more disorienting, yeah, oh boy. When we go to Brittle Hollow, things are gonna get crazy. Whoa, oh, there we go. Okay, what else do we have? The Nomai technology brought back from space by our astronauts has been a great boon to Outer Wilds ventures, allowing us to modify expedition gear in exciting and useful ways. For example, the Little Scout now boasts a warp retrieval capability that allows astronauts to recall their scouts almost instantly. This has dramatically reduced the number of scouts lost to the depths of space. Yeah, so we're going to be using this a lot later. It's like a little probe that we can shoot out that has a camera on it. And we can recall it back to us, so I guess this is just a little in-universe explanation as to why. What you see here are parts of the Nomai skeleton. We can tell from their skulls that they possess antlers and, quite unusually, only 3 eyes. The Nomai body was most likely adapted for living exclusively on land. The differences in the Nomai's anatomy, such as their shockingly fragile bone structure, show us that Hearthians couldn't have descended from Nomanian ancestors. It's not clear where the Nomai originated from, or why they disappeared. We hope to find more clues to this puzzle as we explore our solar system. Yeah, so their fragile bone structure, as we kind of talked about last time, is likely a good indicator that they were like a spacefaring species that spent a lot of time in space, since in real life, being in space too long causes your bone density to decrease, which is why astronauts have to go through rehabilitation. Aside from the dwellings and structures they built, the Nomai also made art. This decorated pottery was discovered on Brittle Hollow. Some ancient Nomai art depicts strange animals, foreign celestial objects, and other subjects that can't be found in our solar system, which makes us wonder whether the Nomai originated elsewhere in the universe or simply had vibrant imaginations. Were the Nomai born in our solar system, or were they born among other stars and planets? And if they were, how and why did they come here? These are just some of the questions we hope to answer through further xenoarchaeological expeditions. Yeah, so that's like another piece of evidence to support that the Nomai could travel between star systems and were fairly advanced. And here we go. So this is a big part of collecting information. This piece of Nomai writing was essential to deciphering their unique language. Although the text is linear, Nomai text often branches off from a central point. Interestingly, each branch tends to be written by a different author. Yeah, so here is the translator that Hal was talking about, and this is where most of our information will be coming from, translating like old ancient Nomai writing. We're nearly ready. Felix and I have finished construction, and she says calibrating the device won't take long. Fortunately, the outer rock's lack of atmosphere will make calibration simple. After all this time, I'm thrilled to finally resume our search. Yeah, so we're definitely going to have to look into that. Another good reason why we should go to the outer rock first. And there's like a very interesting symbol that is definitely going to come up. Crazy how they got my tattoo and put it into this game. I wonder how they knew that. Anyways, let's keep going. Finally, after all this time, we're at the top of the observatory here, and I can show you the map of the solar system. So this is what I was talking about with the deep space probe here. I don't really use this map a lot, but it is definitely cool. And there's an in-universe explanation for why we can actually use it, which is also very cool. And we can see all of the planets that we'll be visiting. Here we are on Timber Hearth, the Hourglass Twins, Brittle Hollow, Giant's Deep, and Dark Bramble. Alright, here he is, the man himself. Hornfels. There you are. I just finished pre-flight observations and local conditions are good. Time to get our newest astronaut off the ground. And you'll be our first astronaut ever equipped with a Nomai translator tool. I confess, I've been giddy all day just thinking about it. We're better equipped than ever to unravel the mysteries of the Nomai. You and Hal should be very proud of your work. Tell me, what's your plan once you get into space? I don't know. Haha, overwhelmed by the options, perhaps. I don't blame you. If you need help getting started, you could visit Esker on the moon. They're alone on the outer rock most of the time, so I'm sure they'd appreciate it. Plus, we don't know what ancient Nomai ruins are on the moon are. Plus, we don't know what the ancient Nomai ruins on the moon are, or why they were built. You could put your new translator tool through its paces. Man, I was doing so good reading, and now I'm just choking. Damn. Well then, looks like all that's left is to send you off. All in all, it's a fine day for a launch. I'm ready to die in space. I'm not one for superstition, but isn't that kind of unlucky to say before a launch? At any rate, here are the launch codes. Try not to worry too much. Our ships are every bit safe as Slate could be persuaded to make them. Best of luck out there, and let me know if I can help you with anything. Man, Slate is a lunatic. Jesus. Okay, let's keep going. Whoop. I believe we got everything in here. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. We got that. Actually, you know what? I just want to make sure. Can I get this now? No. Okay, that's okay. We'll come back for it. Anything else? Anything else? I don't think so. And you know what? Worst case scenario, we can always just come back. So, let's get going. Oh, God. No. Oh, Jesus. Well, that probably doesn't mean anything. Let's keep going. Statues do that all the time. Come on. Hey, so did you get a good look at the Nomai statue? The statue looked at me and opened its eyes. Whoa, the statue is doing what? So its eyes opened and you saw images from your own memories and glowing lights flying around? You mean like a hallucination? Listen, no offense, but are you sure you're okay to launch? Like, medically speaking? You know what? Don't worry about it. Maybe you should sit down for a bit and take it easy. I'd hate for anything bad to happen if you tried to launch while you're not feeling great. But hey, when you are ready, then you can make the most out of our translator tool. I can't believe it's all grown up and leaving for space already. For real though, I'm glad you're the one carrying it, not like Ryback. They'd fall on it for sure. Say, if you want to do a short trip to get your space legs under you, you could check out the ruins on the outer rock. I'd love to learn what those are. Good luck and safe flying. Yeah, okay. I think we are gonna go to the outer rock first. That whole statue business probably is just nothing, so let's just keep going. Oh man. I guess we got one final look at the planet before we leave. There's a small child here. Hello, astronaut. Are you going into space today? Are you going into space and never coming back like Feldspar did? That's pretty disturbing. But Hornfeld says no one knows what happened to Feldspar. Hornfeld says they got lost in space even though they were the best pilot ever. You're not as good as Feldspar, so you should really be careful not to get lost. Yeah, so Feldspar being missing is one of the big mysteries of this game. There's a couple branching mysteries that kind of all connect, and Feldspar is one of the cooler ones, and also one of the first ones that we actually encounter. I think before we leave, though, we can talk to Slate again. Looks like you're ready for takeoff. The excitement of a launch is fun and all, but I can't wait to get back to working on a new ship. We're working on fixing the autopilot's avoidance system for this one. Sorry. That's fine, I don't use autopilot. Here we go! Woohoo! Okay. Beautiful night for a launch. And the sun's coming up, alright. So, here's our ship. On the, most flammable looking launch platform I've ever seen in my life. But this is gonna be like our little home away from home for, basically this whole game. Okay. So it's got everything in here. We got a little gravity crystal to make sure like we can like walk around. There's like a plant in here. I don't know. Here's our spacesuit. And we also have some tutorials for like using the little scout, which is right here. Oh yeah, it also emits a light, which is really cool. Yeah, so it can like do a whole bunch of stuff. You can like shoot it around a planet. You can use it to light up some stuff, detect hazards, test the environment. Oh Jesus. Here's like a health and refueling station here. And here's probably the most important part, our ship's computer. So whenever you see this little blue light flashing, that means we have a new piece of information. And what this thing does is it just catalogs everything that we've learned. So there's like two modes here. There's like rumor mode and map mode. I kind of prefer rumor mode since it shows how everything connects here. So as you can see, we have all the information on the village, the zero-G cave, and some of the stuff that we've heard about but we haven't seen yet. Like Esker's camp on the moon, and the lunar ruins also on the moon. Whenever you see this like little green check mark thingy, that just means that we have some new information there. And if there's ever like a little orange exclamation point, that just means that there's something that we missed at like a certain location. And also they're like color coded. Honestly, like I think the color coding relates to how how I'd mentioned about like the branching mysteries. Like if something relates to one of the mysteries, it's like color coded, I think. I'm not exactly sure though. We can test that as we go. And then also there's like little connections here. Map mode just kind of shows us all the information we've collected on certain bodies and everything. So yeah, pretty cool. We're gonna be using this a lot too. It's just like a good way of cataloging, since kind of like what I said at the very beginning, things can get very chaotic, especially at the beginning. It's very hard to kind of wrap your head around things, so it's kind of good to go back and refresh when you need to. And it saves between games, so like you don't gotta worry about it. Okay, so finally, after all that stalling, we can finally launch here. So here we go! Into space! Oh my god! Yeah, holy. So we can really see like the scope of the planet. It's very, very tiny. And actually, when we're wearing our spacesuit, we have like these little rocket boosters, and you can kind of just like fly around the planet. It's really cool. I'm gonna be doing that a lot. Oh boy, I just gotta orient myself here. Yeah, okay, here we go with the circumstellar plane. Oh boy. Yeah, so even the gravity can really pull you. But there we go, the outer rocks. So we can just match velocity here. It does get very dark. But I'm gonna try to do a safe landing. Whoa, okay. Actually, you know what? I don't want to land there just yet. I want to land at Esker's camp, wherever that is. Where are you, Esker? There you are. Whoa, okay. Okay, I can do a safe landing. I'm a space boy. And there we go. Okay, one of my better landings. Sometimes I just smash into the planet and just die, like, immediately. Okay, here we go. So here's the lunar outpost here. Very quaint. There's some trees around here, which refill our oxygen, and is why this dude doesn't need a suit. Not sure if that's physically accurate, but oh well. Oh, hey, it's you! Ground control didn't tell me you're launching. Long time no see. Actually, I guess it's been a long time since I've seen anyone. Don't the other travelers come by? The lunar outpost saw more traffic back when our ships were less sophisticated and needed more frequent repairs. Nowadays, it's mostly just used to keep a set of eyes on things. Sometimes Chirk comes by to say hi, but Gabbro's Gabbro, and you know how Ryback feels about unnecessary space flight. Don't go. I mean, is there anything else you wanted to ask? So yeah, so Esker is like the first of the travelers that we're going to be meeting on our journeys. They don't really offer much new information, but they can guide you in the right direction. And so, a lot of this like talking to him, this is gonna sound rude, but a lot of like talking to him isn't super necessary. Talking to any of the travelers isn't super necessary. It's just a good way to kind of like if you ever get lost, or if you ever want to kind of just go over what you've learned. They sometimes offer insight on new things. Like, what is this place? Haha, very funny. Oh, stars above, you're serious, aren't you? That's just depressing. Welcome to the Lunar Outpost, which apparently the space program doesn't bother to teach anyone anymore. When we first started Outer Wilds, travelers used to bring their ships here all the time for repairs. Our spacefaring technology has improved loads since then, but the older ships tend to fall apart a lot, like more than they do now. Using the outpost cut down on the number of launches and landings taking place in the village, and also the number of fires. Nowadays, though, it's mostly just me up here raising saplings from Timber Hearth and keeping an eye on things. Yeah, so Esker is, we could come back to him a couple times. I feel really bad for him. Oh man, that's cool. But for now, I think it'd be more beneficial for us to explore a bit. So, let's go back to all the places we flew over last time. Whoa, yeah, see, like, you can kind of just, like, orbit around. But, oh yeah, man, the Outer Rock, it moves so quickly, so it's, very dark. Like, I could barely see anything right now. I think I'm, oh god. I think I was actually escaping orbit there for a second. That was freaky. Whew. Sun's looking bright. Okay. Esker's signal scope. Jesus. Esker's signal scope log. Day 48. Still not picking up Rybek's banjo from Brittle Hollow. I'm sure they're fine, but I'll feel better once I can hear their music. Day 51. Listen to Chert play for a little while today. Unrelated. Someone should tell Porphy and Gossin their flirting is not subtle from an aerial perspective. Day 55. Banjo coming in loud and clear today. Sounds like Rybek's doing okay. That oaf. I was worried. Day 63. Today I thought I heard something. Strange. I don't know. It was probably nothing. Day 70. No, it's back again today, too. Something strange is coming from Timber Hearth. Day 76. Okay, I know this is crazy, but the sound from Timber Hearth sounds exactly like Feldspar's harmonica. But Feldspar disappeared in space ages ago. It can't be them. Day 88. It's still here. This is creepy. Maybe my signal scope is broken? I'd better talk to Gneiss. Yeah, so if we point our signal scope at Timber Hearth, sure enough, we can hear a harmonica. And even more curiously, if we point our signal scope at Dark Bramble, we can hear the same signal. So something weird is definitely going on here. But yeah, very, very interesting. Anyways, let's keep going. There's still like quite a bit more to discover here. Okay, I gotta be careful. The Outer Rock doesn't have a lot of gravity, so it's very easy to deorbit yourself. Okay, here we go. These must be the lunar ruins that everyone was talking about. All right. So, actually, you know what? Let's go down below and learn what this place is before we actually do anything. There's that symbol again, and here we go. I was upstairs testing the eye signal locator. It can hear and follow the signals from the sun, Giant's Deep, and Brittle Hollow. However, something strange is happening when I ask the eye signal locator to follow the eye's signal. The device indicator just rotates wildly and never points to just one direction. I see. I most likely calibrated the locator incorrectly. Privet, my apprentice, and I will make adjustments and try again. An update. Disappointingly, everything is correctly calibrated after all. It saddens me to posit this, my friends, but I believe this locator cannot detect the eye's signal. We would need to build a more sensitive device if we want to locate the eye of the universe. Then we will build it. Don't lose hope, Kasuma. Our search for the eye is what brought our clan to this place. We won't give up so easily. This is a curious result. It's possible the eye has stopped calling out its signal. Right, so that's definitely very interesting. So we have a name for this symbol now, the eye of the universe. And it confirms our previous thoughts that the Nomai likely came here from elsewhere, and they were like spacefaring. Let's see what else we got. Where should this new, more sophisticated locator be built? It may need to be larger than this signal eye signal locator is. Anona and those of us originally stranded on the Ember Twin built a quantum moon locator there. But the heat of the sun made its construction challenging. I wouldn't recommend building on that planet. Sorry, I got something in my throat. The southern glacier on Brittle Hollow has ample available space. I could construct a new building to house this proposed locator. Yes, let's build it there. I imagine our young friend Conway would enjoy that immensely. He's always held a great interest in the eye, especially for a child born so long after the crash. I will begin construction on Brittle Hollow's South Pole immediately then. Okay, so we got another place to go, and also A mention of a crash. Very interesting. And also a quantum moon locator. We're gonna have to find that too on the Ember Twin. Okay, wow. Wow. I've seen this ruin in other travelers' pictures, but seeing it for myself, it's really old, isn't it? But wow, this is the coolest day of my life. Okay, time for some official notes. So this is some kind of nomai locator. It can point out the different planets, which is incredibly cool, by the way. But from what little I can understand of the writing here, I think it was built to try to find something specific. I'm not sure. I was also able to translate something about the South Pole of Brittle Hollow, so I'll fly there and see if I can learn more. Yep. Just gonna get back in the old ship and take off. Totally safe. Mostly safe. Oh, stars above. So this is probably Rybeck, since they mentioned going to Brittle Hollow, and that's where we know he is, so we could probably meet up with him a bit later. And in the meantime, we can actually test the eye locator. And sure enough, if we put it to the symbol of the eye, yeah, it just rotates wildly. So something clearly is going on, since it seems to work for everything else. If we point it at the sun now, yeah, it locks in like almost like immediately, and the sun's looking a lot redder than it had at the beginning. Interesting thing to take note of. This one is Giant's Deep, I believe. Yeah, there it is, just behind us. Yeah, so it works for everything else. Brittle Hollow. I think that might be on the other side of the sun. Yeah. We can assume that's working. Very interesting. I believe there's only one more thing for us to discover here, and that's in that big crater. Oh god, this big crater. Holy shit. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna crash into the wall. Oh boy. There we go. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Very hard to get my footing there. We can refill our jetpack, and we can listen to this recording. Chert's research notes. Property of Chert. This is an old crater. The neat thing here is that the composition of the samples I took from the impact site matches the composition of the ice on the outskirts of Dark Bramble. I'd posit the outer rock was hit by a piece of the planet that used to be where Dark Bramble now lies. To follow up on, maybe there are more fragments of the old planet Dark Bramble destroyed in the other astral bodies in the solar system. Huh. Very cool. Wait, did I get all that? Okay, I was worried I pressed the exit button a bit too soon. But yeah, so these ice samples seem to be, apparently are from Dark Bramble, or at least where the planet that Dark Bramble took over, maybe? We're gonna have to investigate that a bit more. Anyways, for now though, we can go back to our ship. I believe that's most of the stuff that we need here on the Outer Rock. I guess we can always just go back and talk with Asker. Yeah. Actually, you know what? We might as well... Oh yeah, okay, there's the flag. Unidentified signal nearby. Yeah, so actually, we can... There we go, get Asker locked in there. Pretty cool. Anyways, let's head back to our ship. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else that I need here. I don't think so. Yeah. Uh-oh. Well, everything ends eventually, I guess.